What is going on, everybody? My name is Keenan Costain, and welcome back to another episode of Hornets Recaps. And on today's episode, we have some breaking news coming in from Friday, July 3rd, 2026. Houston Rockets forward Dorrian Finney Smith has been traded to the Charlotte Hornets to go along with three second-round picks in 2027 from Memphis, 2028, and 2033 from Houston. So, with the Charlotte Hornets making a move in this offseason, and my quick reaction when I found out about this news, I knew it was going to be tough with the Jaylen Brown news coming earlier this week of Jaylen Brown being traded to Philadelphia in trades with Paul George earlier this week. So the Charlotte Hornets would have to make some sort of move in this week to clear up some space and clear up some trade exemption, which we'll get to more in this video. Now you're probably thinking, trade exemption, what is that supposed to mean? Well, according to this report, Charlotte is using part of their $15 million non-tax mid-level exemption to require Dorrian Finney Smith. They persevered the $40.7 million trade exception that will become created in the LaMelo Ball trade. So with Dorrian Finney-Smith's contract, it is $13.33 million this coming season. And with the next 2 years, they're basically a non-guaranteed from this deal. So in short, the Hornets did not really have to give up too much, if not at all. And the Hornets were able to get more draft picks in the upcoming future, which we'll get to more in a minute. So with the draft picks, the Charlotte Hornets have 32 picks over the next 7 years, which includes 12 first-round picks and 20 second-round picks. And with this deal, the Hornets were able to collect more draft picks in the upcoming future. Now, circling back to the Jaylen Brown news, which took place earlier this week of him going to the Philadelphia 76ers, the Hornets were actually in talks of getting Jaylen Brown in a couple of possible moves. The first move would have to be the Celtics declined a trade offer from the Charlotte Hornets that would have sent Naz Reid, Miles Bridges, and draft compensation in exchange for Jaylen Brown. And the second move would have been the Celtics asked for a package including Brandon Miller being on the market and 3 first-round picks for Jaylen Brown. And in my last couple of videos, the Celtics trade talks with Jaylen Brown would have probably have to be dealt with Brandon Miller in that trade. With that in mind, the Hornets decided rather to pivot from that. So with this trade, the Hornets are building up their draft capital, building up those picks, and getting a solid defender in Dorrian Finney Smith. Now, when it comes to the rest of the offseason during the summer, there is some big names still on the market of LeBron James, Bradley Beal, and a host of others that still need to find homes. Russell Westbrook from the Sacramento Kings have been in talks of coming to the Charlotte Hornets. And with Westbrook, he would probably take a minimum deal. So probably a 2-year, $7 million deal if I had to guess. And with this in mind, Russell Westbrook would probably fit that bill. Now, the question is, are the Hornets not making moves? I would say no, because you still got to figure out how this roster is going to be structured. I believe the bench still needs a little bit of work, but from the looks of it, it seems to me in the back of my mind that the Hornets are done making moves when it comes to this sort of stuff, because the Hornets can probably use their cap space from the trade that the LaMelo Ball trade that they acquired this past week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, almost 2 weeks ago, I should say, from this point. And who knows that what the Hornets are going to do the rest of the way. They're probably going to save some cap space and probably make a move during the trade deadline. And with that said, I don't see anything else happening, but you never know. So I'm sort of back and forth. Yes, they're going to do something. No, they're not going to do anything. I mean, who knows? Because there are a few players in free agency that hasn't been signed yet. LeBron James, Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook, just to name a few, that still need to find homes and on certain teams. Now, my final question in this video is, are the Hornets trying to pull an OKC Thunder and saving those draft picks for many, many years to come? I would say for right now, yes. I would say the Hornets are definitely going to be a lot worse than they uh than they were in the past of being a lot better team last year. And hold on to your hats and helmets, folks, because this could be a thing to watch out for, and bringing in free agents and teams that want to possibly make moves, since the Hornets have all these draft picks in the near future. And I guess one more thing as well, this could be a thing for Dorrian Finney Smith, for him to stay on the team. Is he going to be cut and we'll bring somebody else in? We don't know that for sure. It's only been a 48-hour turnaround since I'm making this video on July 5th, so we'll see what happens. So that'll do it for another episode of Hornets Recaps. Again, my name is Keenan Costain, and if you like what you see, feel free to give this video a like, subscribe down below for more, and we'll see what happens going forward. There's some free agents still need to be signed. There's some things that still needs to be figured out in Summer League as well, because we can bring in some two-way players from that Summer League roster coming up very, very, very soon in Summer League. And until then, this has been a move for the Charlotte Hornets this offseason, getting Dorrian Finney Smith. Are we going to keep him? Are we going to hang on to him? We'll see what happens. And until next time, have a good one, folks. See ya. Bye.